The Black Peak stood like a monolith against the sky, its jagged edges cutting into the swirling clouds. No birds flew near it, no animals dared to tread its rocky paths. The locals of Hollowbrook Village whispered legends of the cursed mountain, of shadows that moved in the mist and voices that echoed in the wind. Few had ventured beyond its foothills, and none had returned. For decades, the mountain had remained undisturbed, a place spoken of only in hushed tones, until a team of explorers arrived. Led by Dr. Jonathan Reed, a renowned geologist, the expedition included his assistant Anna Carter, historian Mark Evans, and a rugged mountaineer named Daniel Hayes. Their mission was to uncover the truth about the eerie stories and document the mountain's strange geology. Hollowbrook's villagers watched as the team set up camp near the base of the Black Peak. An old man named Elias, wrinkled and frail, warned them. "The mountain watches," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Dr. Reed dismissed the superstition with a chuckle. "We're scientists, my friend. We deal in facts, not fairy tales." Elias simply shook his head. "You'll see soon enough." That night, as the wind howled through the valley, Anna woke to a strange sound. A whisper, faint, almost unintelligible, seemed to slither through the air. She sat up in her tent, holding her breath. "Leave!" The word was barely audible, but it sent a chill down her spine. She unzipped her tent and peered outside. The campfire had dimmed to embers, casting flickering shadows against the trees. Daniel stood nearby, staring at the mountain's peak. "Daniel," she called softly. He didn't move. Anna stepped closer and saw his face was blank, his eyes fixed on something unseen. She shook his shoulder, and he gasped, stumbling back. "What the hell?" he muttered, rubbing his temples. "You were standing here, staring at the peak," Anna said. Daniel frowned. I don't remember getting up." Before Anna could respond, a guttural scream echoed from the forest. They both turned toward the sound, their breath hitching. The scream faded into the wind, replaced by the rustling of unseen things in the trees. Despite the eerie events of the night, Dr. Reed insisted they proceed. As they climbed higher, the air grew thinner and colder. The trees thinned out, replaced by jagged rocks and patches of blackened earth. The landscape felt unnatural, as though the mountain itself resented their presence. Mark, the historian, noted strange symbols carved into the rocks. Ancient markings that seemed almost human, but not quite. He sketched them hurriedly, his hands trembling. "I've seen something similar in ancient burial sites," he said. "But these predate recorded history." As they pressed on, the fog thickened, wrapping around them like ghostly fingers. The path became treacherous, each step feeling heavier, as if the mountain resisted their progress.